Hi, everybody. Today we wanted to just talk about something that is important for everybody, and that is success. Because it doesn't matter if we're talking about being a parent and being a successful parent, or whether you're a teacher like me, or whether you're a student, or whatever you may be doing in life, we all want to be successful
Yep.
and to make a difference in this world. And so, knowing how to get to success can make a big, big difference. So, we're going to give you Tony Robbins' ultimate success formula today and just talk with you about it a little bit. So, the very first thing is you must know your outcome. In other words, you've got to know your target. You need to know where you're going, and you need to know it very clearly with clarity, because if you have clarity and clear vision about where you're going, it's going to give you a lot more direction than if you're like, well, I want to be successful. Well, okay, what does that mean? You've got to know your target.
Yeah, and the first thing you need to do is you need to define what success means for you. And that can be tricky for a lot of people because there's this a lot of us have this limiting belief about where we're supposed to be going in life. What does success look like? And that can come from your childhood, that can come from your faith, that can come from a lot of different directions. And so the first thing you need to do, even before you start looking at these 5 steps, is you have to be able to define success for yourself. And there is no right or wrong. I will add a caveat though. If your definition of success requires nothing for you except to breathe in and out every single day, then maybe that's success for you, but that's a really shallow and very short. You were created for a lot more than that in this life. So after we get that basic defined, then now that you know what success looks like for you, you can set out that clear target. Without a lot of people wander around in this world and they just don't have clarity on what they want, and that's why they never get there. Because if you don't know exactly what it looks like, if it's a house, what color is it, what's it look like, how many square feet, how many bedrooms, how many whatever it is, if that's what defines success for you, then you need to have that more clear. If you're a person who has a little more I'm trying to think of the word. It'll come to me here in a second. Where your success is defined in more of a not so much a object or a thing, but more a state of mind or a way of being or a way of living. Maybe it has to do more with your legacy or something like that. Then clarity becomes even more important, because those terms are very nebulous. And if you have something nebulous, you just never get there. So after you have your outcome that you know you're getting, you have clarity on that. You need to know why you're going.
That's right.
Why have you decided you want that this thing that you are chasing is so important to you? Because at the end of the day, willpower will never ever get you to where you're going. It's just not enough. You have to have more than that. You have to have a reason, a compelling reason why. Amy and I are building a business together. Why are we doing that? We'll share that with you at another time. But we have a compelling reason why, because the late nights, the early mornings, the day-to-day things that we do so that we can accomplish that, it's not done on willpower. Willpower is not enough. It's just never enough to carry you through. So
Yeah, so I was just thinking about, one of the successes I've had in my life was I made it through college. I made it through getting my master's degree in EDS. And so my reason why was that, I loved music and I wanted to share that with other people and share that great joy and the fun and just all the great things that go along with other people, and those people being children, because I love and just really enjoy children. And so that was a very compelling reason why for me. And not only that, but I didn't want to just be a good teacher. I want to be an outstanding teacher. I want to give my students the best instruction. And when they leave my classroom, I want them to be sad that they have to go. I want them to be excited to come in the door and sad that they have to leave. And that's because the learning that we're doing in my classroom, I want it to be fun for them and engaging for them, not just fluffy stuff, but things that are going to teach them to think and to be better people and to learn about beauty, because that's so much a part of what it is to be a music teacher and just to be a teacher. So for me, that was a very, and continues to be a very, very compelling reason why. So the third thing is massive action. So if you want to be a successful person, you've got to take massive action to get to where you want to go. And so just my example of all that schooling that I've done, and I'm continuing to try to grow and learn, is massive action that I'm taking to continue in that successful path that I'm on.
Yeah, after you take so we've given you 3 steps so far. You've got to get clarity in what you're doing. You've got to know your reason why. You have to take massive action, and then you have to measure your results. You have to know what you're getting. If you're going through the motions, you've taken massive action, and you are never measuring, never calculating, never examining, never reflecting, you don't know what you're getting, you won't be able to do the next step, which is iterate quickly. And that's, you have to change your approach as often as it takes. So if you're clear on your outcome and what success looks like for you, I ask you the question, how long will you pursue that particular goal or success? How long you pursue it? And I think the answer for most people is as long as it takes. You know, when you were a infant, and you can't remember this, but your parents surely do. You were an infant, and you learned how to roll over, and then you learned how to crawl, and then you learned how to walk. And you fell down hundreds of times, literally, probably hundreds of times. But you were intent, you had clarity on the fact that you wanted to walk so that you could run or whatever it was you wanted to do. And then when you fell down, you just didn't go, oh, well, I guess that's all it takes. I mean, I guess I'm just not a walker. No, what you did was you looked at it, you looked at the results, even in your little brain, and you said, okay, how can I do this better? And you've watched a child as they learn how to get on their knees, and then they learn how to stand up against the couch, or grabbing a hold of somebody's fingers, or something like that. And they over and over and over again, you try, you fail, you try, fail, adjust, you try, fail, adjust, try, fail, adjust. And you iterate until you have success. The same exact thing can happen with every single thing that you determine in your life and you have clarity on, that you know your why, and you take massive action. That can happen for you in every aspect of your life. You just have to have that. It starts with clarity. You have to know what success looks like for you. You have to know what that thing is, and then you have to have clarity on what that looks like and where you're going. And if you follow these 5 success principles, unless you're attaching wings to a pig, you're probably going to be able to do anything else.
You can do anything.
Yeah,
that's right.
There's just so few limitations in life.
Well, and I want to say that number 5 is a super important part, and that is keep trying. And if you're not getting the success that you want, you change your approach. If you are not successful and you keep doing the same thing and expect to be successful again just because you tried again, well, no, that may not necessarily work. And so sometimes you have to change your approach and you have to try something different. You may have to look at it from a different viewpoint and find a different perspective, but you keep changing and you keep trying things until you reach or surpass your goal. And so number 5 is just, to me, one of the most important parts is don't stop. The only way that you're going to be a failure is if you quit trying.
Yeah.
And so you got to keep going, keep trying, keep changing your approach until you surpass your goal.
So there's, depending on where you're at in your journey, each one of these steps can be more or less important. Like she said, for right now, it's because of where we are in business, it's try, fail, adjust, try, fail, adjust, try, fail, adjust over and over and over and over again. We have clarity, we know our why, we have taken action, we are getting results, and now it's try, fail, adjust. And that's where we're at right now. That's why we can speak so passionately to that particular point. If we didn't have clarity, though, we'd be speaking to clarity right now. And so it depends on where you're at in your journey. And you may be asking, why are Joe and Amy talking about a success formula on her timeline? And it's because it is so critical for the health and wellness journey. If you don't know what you're treating, if you don't know what the problem is, you can't even begin the next steps. If you have something going on in your body and you want to change that, whether it be your weight or inflammation or anything like that, you have to have clarity on what that is so you know where you're going and you can know how to get that end result. And if at first it doesn't work, you have to try something else. That's part of the health and wellness journey. This is important for, as you look at a person in a holistic framework, you have to look at their mental, their physical, their spiritual, their emotional, their relationships, how they communicate. All these things go into one human being. You don't get to just take a pill and all of a sudden it fixes all those parameters. That's one of the challenges with modern medicine, is they take a pill and they try and touch one of those pillars in life, and you have to do this whole broad spectrum. So we're going to include some leadership stuff. We're going to include these thought principles, and we're going to share those with you guys on whenever whenever we feel compelled to do that for you guys. We're going to do that because it is so important for you to be able to grow in a holistic manner and become a complete person. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, please let us know. There is so much that we could dive into on this, and this is just a broad brush of these 5 components of the success formula. So if you want us to dive a little bit deeper, put a comment in there so that we can know which one in particular you're wanting to look at. If you want us to talk to you more on a personal level, maybe a phone call or a chat or something like that, just drop something in there or DM J&A Healthy Essentials, and we'll get back with you and we'll work with you one-on-one if that's what we need to be doing right now to be able to assist you the best. So yeah, anything else, babe?
No, just thanks for watching, and I hope this is helpful to you. Like Joe said, we're really passionate and really thinking about health and wellness, but truly this success formula, it applies to so many aspects of life, and so that's just something that I love, and we all want to be successful. So we hope we can help you be successful just by listening to this video.
Awesome. So we'll catch you guys next time.